92 with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy says Ukraine will not cede territory to Russia as part of the peace deal.
Відповідь на українське територіальне питання є вже в Конституції України. Відступати від цього ніхто не буде і не зможе. Дарувати свою землю окупанту українці не будуть.
Zelenskyy was responding to a statement from US President Donald Trump that a ceasefire agreement between Russia and Ukraine could involve the, quote, swapping of territories. His comments seemed to indicate that Ukraine may need to give up some of its land. Trump says he will meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin next week to discuss the future of the war. Taiwan is seeing a sustained surge in Chinese military activity around the country. The Defense Ministry says it detected 54 Chinese military aircraft, 6 naval vessels, and 2 official ships near Taiwan within a 24-hour period ending Saturday morning. 47 of those aircraft entered Taiwan's Air Defense Identification Zone, or ADIZ. This is not the country's sovereign airspace, but is used as a buffer zone for defensive purposes. It's the second day of heightened activity near Taiwan, and comes after China and Russia carried out joint naval drills in the region. The Defense Ministry says it has monitored the situation and responded with its own aircraft and ships. Taiwan's military is making changes to the punishments it metes out to troops. The Defense Ministry says this will help protect the rights of the country's troops and bring punishments more in line with the rule of law. Cadence Garanta reports.
As Taiwan's military prepares its forces amid heightened threats from China, it's also undergoing changes to the way it disciplines its troops.
为健全军人权益保障制度，国防部已经完成了陆海空军惩罚法修法以及军人权益事件处理法立法工作，并且经行政院核定，在今年的8月6日正式实行。
One common punishment is forcing troops that are found to be out of order to stand at attention, often for long periods. Under the new rules, though, that's now limited to 2 hours per day. The changes also prohibit the punishment from being used when troops are on leave, on a break, or during late night or early morning hours. The military will begin allowing salary deductions, a less physical form of punishment, which experts say will help with managing personnel.
应该说，军方的法制是有他的想法哈，但是我们必须回到说，你施以处罚的目的是什么？服从军纪，好，服从军令。
Rules surrounding another form of discipline are also being changed. Some soldiers are punished by being forced to spend time expressing remorse for their mistakes. But now, the time they spend repenting will not factor into their service period, so they'll have to stay for extra days to finish, in effect, heightening the punishment. The Defense Ministry says the adjustments bring the military's punishments more in line with the rule of law and help protect the rights of its personnel, all in the hopes of better managing a military that plays a crucial role in fending off existential threats to Taiwan. Justin Wu and Cadence Karanta for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's Economy Ministry says some goods exported to the U.S. may face tariff rates higher than 20%. That's because Taiwan had already been paying tariffs on many of its goods. These levies, called Most Favored Nation tariffs, are standard rates imposed on all World Trade Organization members. The new 20% rate the Trump administration has set will be on top of those existing tariffs. Anti-dumping and countervailing duties are also applied, meaning an even greater burden for exporters. Singapore's National Day celebrations have played a crucial role in shaping its national identity. Our reporter Isabel Wong is at the celebration venue with more of what to expect on the 60th anniversary of the country's founding.
Many Singaporeans have been waiting for months for this moment as the nation celebrates its big day. The iconic Padang area will also hold the largest ever National Day parade. And it is also one of the best stops to catch the evening fireworks at Marina Bay. Singapore Prime Minister Lawrence Wong delivered his televised National Day speech a day earlier, addressing key challenges the country faces during deepening geopolitical tensions. But he urged Singaporeans to remain resilient.
To stay ahead, Singapore must remain exceptional in our cohesion, in our resolve, in our performance. We must move faster, adapt quicker, and innovate smarter.
The theme of this year's celebration is Majula Singapura, meaning Onward Singapore, to spotlight the country's progress despite trying times. Many locals say they feel proud of how far their home has come.
I'm a Singaporean, born and bred, so I'm just very proud to be a Singaporean and that we've made it 60 years. I actually really like the parade, where you have all the military and even like the uniform groups coming out and marching in unison.
I have a family here in Singapore and a lot of friends here in Singapore. They do mean a lot because 60 years to them, building from a developing country to something that is just well known and all that, it's really something else. Yeah, it's hard. It was hard for them. Yeah, and for them to be where they are, not a lot of countries can do it.
For Singaporeans born and raised in Lion City, or those who immigrated here, it's a day to reflect on the challenges and successes, past and future. As the sun sets in the next few hours, the Republic of Singapore Air Force will fly over the heartlands of the country. The Armed Forces Band and student musicians will also play national favorites throughout the evening, symbolizing Singapore's union, ambition, and resilience. Howard Zhang, Andy Xue, and Isabel Wang in Singapore for TaiwanPlus.
Japan is marking 80 years since the atomic bombing of Nagasaki and the lost use of nuclear weapons in war. Among the dead were Taiwanese citizens. Yet, Taiwan has only now been invited to take part in the annual memorial. Our reporter Bryn Thomas spoke to Ian Rowan, associate professor at Kyushu University, to find out what this means for Taiwan-Japan relations.
Some of the people who died in the bombings at Hiroshima and Nagasaki were Taiwanese, and Taiwan was part of the Japanese Empire at the time. So why did it take 80 years for Taiwan to get invited to one of these memorial services?
The first few decades of these commemorations, invitations were not extended directly to states or countries as such. They were mostly for survivors, for other interested parties. And by the time Hiroshima and Nagasaki issued direct invitations to countries or other diplomatic partners, Taiwan, as the Republic of China, had already been de-recognized in 1972 in favor of the People's Republic of China. And given that de-recognition and given the later conditions that invitees be members of the UN or countries which have official relations with Japan, the ROC was never invited.
What does Taiwan being invited say about the state of Taiwan and Japan's relationship right now? And what does it say about how Japan is framing the war 80 years later?
I would suggest that Taiwan's invitation does not have very much to do with a reconsideration of Japan-Taiwan relations under colonial rule. It's probably more addressing contemporary issues. Japan and Taiwan have moved closer on security and cultural and other forms of diplomatic exchange, however unofficial, in recent years, and this invitation reflects these contemporary concerns.
In May, Nagasaki's mayor said Taiwan would not be invited to this year's event, as invitation is only extended to countries which Japan has formal diplomatic ties with. Then, later on in July, Taiwan was told its presence there would be accepted. Can you explain the change?
Without pretending to read the mind of the leaders of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, my sense is that both cities have had trouble navigating diplomatic considerations for both Taiwan as well as other controversial geopolitical concerns. Each city, I think, is navigating both their own leadership's concerns as well as their coordination with the central government. And as Taiwan and Japan continue reconfiguring their relationship, these cities become, you might say, proxy battles for the larger reconsideration of relations between Japan, Taiwan, and the elephant in the room, of course, being China.
The average age of a hibakusha is now thought to be around 86. Of about 100,000 of these atomic bomb survivors, only a handful are thought to be Taiwanese. So I wonder, will these people benefit from Taiwan's participation in these memorial events, or do they serve a different purpose?
Taiwan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs make little to no statement or nod to the survivors, the Taiwanese survivors of the bombs. It's almost all about contemporary considerations, shared values of peace, and so on. So the survivors actually seem to be pushed to the background of these discussions. Therefore, I don't think that Taiwan's invitation will make much of a material difference to Taiwanese survivors of the blasts.
That was Ian Rowan, associate professor at Kyushu University. Taiwan's total population fell last month, marking 19 straight months of decline. That's according to new figures from the country's Interior Ministry, which show a decline of nearly 9,000 people from June to July and a year-on-year drop of over 70,000 people. It comes as Taiwan transitions into a super-aged society, where 20% or more of the country's people are 65 years or older. The country's birth rate has also been falling. Taiwan's National Development Council estimates that total population may dip below 23 million as early as 2030. Taiwan has bagged its first medal at the 2025 World Games in Chengdu, China. Taiwanese athlete Liu Changming won bronze in the Nanquan combined event, a martial art form from southern China. He scored a total of 19.4 points, finishing behind gold medalist Shaheen Bani Talebi of Iran and Mohammad Adi Salihin of Brunei, who won silver. This year's World Games will run through August 17th. Last month, Taiwan claimed its first gold medal at the 2025 World University Games in Germany, with the women's Taekwondo Poomsae team standing proudly atop the podium. I went to meet the athletes, now back home, to find out about their road to victory. A show of power and elegance, with choreographed movements to demonstrate skill and discipline. Meet Taiwan's women's Taekwondo Poomsae team, Chen Xingya, Yang Changying, and Guo Yanyu. The trio bagged the country's first ever gold medal in the category at the 2025 World University Games in Germany this summer, scoring an average of 8.8 points in the finals, trumping South Korea's 8.7 and the US's 8.4. Their coach Hwang Pei-ying says the young athletes' performance exceeded expectations, the result of around 2 months of training.
他们3个在这么短的时间内可以就是练到这么好，我觉得是因为3个人在训练的时候，我们的共同目标就是拿金牌。
Though it was intense, the team says their training schedule have paid off.
我们这一次跟之前比较不一样，是先把自由品式的编排，然后技术先练好，后面才跟队友们在练公认品式的默契上才开始练习。所以这是我觉得这是金牌的关键。
Their journey to the top has not been easy. All three came to the mat in Germany with knee injuries. Things were especially tough for Yang Changying, who tore her ligaments and part of her cartilage during training.
因为刚选拔完我就受伤，其实我自己已经做好就是被换掉的这个决定，就是我当下是觉得我不要连累队友，我什么都不能做，被换掉也是应该的。
所以其实我就是受到他们的鼓励，才想办法一直站起来，不然我觉得我自己不会这么勇敢。
In the end, though, their injuries helped strengthen their bond, enabling them to support one another, with each performing movements that their other teammates found difficult.
那互补的情况下，就变成是他的空翻动作可能少一点，比较对他有危险性的动作，我们把它减少。那比较可以稳定，可能就是脚可以稳定上场的人，我们就把它就是发挥到比较多这样子。
The training process and its success at the games has taught the team valuable lessons about teamwork, perseverance, and self-confidence.
我觉得我的心态成长蛮多的，就还没打这场比赛之前，我会一直陷入。 我自己做不到，后来就是用量去补了之后，也发现到其实自己是做得到的，只是不愿意相信自己。但这次世大运让我知道，我自己其实是可以的。
For these athletes, they may only have spent a few glorious minutes on the winner's podium, but the feelings of pride and accomplishment will likely last a lifetime. Scott Huang and Sanny Chi for TaiwanPlus. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Finally, come float away with us to the South American country of Ecuador for the World Balloon Festival. I'm Sanny Chi. Take care and see you next time.